I was here last season for the first year of this, and you could already see from the sold out crowds, the amount of people that bought into the cricket. I think you always knew it had the ability to be something special.
Welcome back to America Cricket TV. We are live at location at the Grand Prairie Stadium. I'm Unmukt Chand.
And I'm Richard Ray. The Major League Cricket season number 2 is underway, and it's clearly made a huge leap forward over the first season. They're attracting really big crowds, especially here at the stadium in Grand Prairie, where about 2/3 of the matches are being played.
The MLC's chief executive is pleasantly surprised with how everything's being received, especially after the T20 World Cup.
Let's listen to him.
Last year was our first season. This stadium came together like literally on the last day, and of course a lot of things that you're seeing today is because of what we learned from last season.
The International Cricket Council has also recognized the leap forward, granting Major League Cricket List A status, making it an official T20 league on par with others across the world.
Based on how we ran this tournament, the caliber of players that came to the tournament, the standards at which the tournament was run, and then also the teams involved, the ICC looks at that whole package of things, and they made a decision that MLC has the standards to be recognized as a List A event. I mean, it was certainly something we aspired to. Whether it would happen in our second season, honestly, it's a pleasant surprise, I gotta say, yeah.
MLC is also scoring with the international TV audience.
Oh, it's massive. One of the biggest leagues in the world already. And the reason is because the 4 of the franchises are owned by Indian franchises in the IPL, which is the biggest league in the world. And a lot of the players that compete in the global franchise leagues around the world are also competing in the MLC. So there's a lot of attention around it. It's a nice time zone for India, early morning, the Caribbean late at night, places like England a bit later. But I think the time that it's at, and also the players that they've attracted this year, superstars, it's gotten the interest from the global audience.
Opening night fans really caught a break with the weather. After days of 100-degree weather, tonight a cold front came through. Temperatures in the 70s.
I think the atmosphere, the fan experience, the quality of the concessions, I think if you just add it all up, we learned a lot, and it's showing up here. And then, of course, the weather cooperated, and it's like one of the nicest days you could ask for. If you haven't come to a game yet, just come and sample one, and I guarantee you'll come back for more.
That List A status is a big deal. For example, the batsmen and the bowlers, all the stats they accumulate here now go into the record with all those other major tournaments around the world. In fact, there are other tournaments going on right now in Sri Lanka, for example, just finishing up, in England about to start, and there are major stars who've decided to either skip Sri Lanka and or go late to England, which I think is an indication that this league is going to get bigger.
Certainly, and socially speaking, America has great positioning when it comes to internet culture, and whatever is relevant in America is relevant all around the world. So I really am looking forward to cricket really taking root here, because I think that would help out the sports culture so much.
One of the early stars of the MLC season is a young man who lives and trains in Dallas-Fort Worth. He was left off the USA World Cup team, something of a surprise, but he used that disappointment to train even harder.
Certainly. Unmukt Chand was the player of the match in the LA Knight Riders' opening night win against the Texas Super Kings. He spoke with America Cricket TV afterwards and told us about his feelings being left off the Team USA.
You got to go through it to grow through it, right?
Unmukt Chand was certainly disappointed after being passed over for a spot on the USA World Cup cricket team. But he continued to train back in India, where he grew up, and here in Texas, where he now lives. Here's a video he posted in May at 22 Yards training facility in Lewisville, Texas.
The next best thing I could have done is I knew that the major league is around the corner, so I need to just keep preparing myself and be in a good headspace. And I was doing that, and eventually I think it all turns out to be good.
The training paid off in a big win over the Texas Super Kings on opening night. Chand produced 68 runs from 45 deliveries. Once captain of the India under-19 squad, Chand came to the U.S. in 2021 for more opportunity here.
I was in San Francisco for the first 2 years. I moved to Dallas last year because a lot of players have sort of moved around this area, and also because it's pretty central. We have a stadium as well, so that really helps because we have the infrastructure already in place. So that's good. That's a good start. I'm sure that with these facilities going more to the people, if we can use them more and more, I think it will get even better.
Chand hopes his success encourages others who aspire to careers in cricket here in the United States.
Sir, I really hope so, and I hope that more and more cricketers sort of come up in this area because cricket is growing. We all saw how the World Cup sort of panned out here, and what better than this for a cricketer if it becomes like a game which more and more people come and play. So that's the best part, and that's what we are here for. That cricket goes to more people. Even all the white population comes in and plays, the local Americans come in and play, and everyone comes in and play, and so that's the whole purpose of bringing cricket to America, and I hope that it goes a long way.
You saw that the Instagram video that Mr. Chand shared was shot May 18th at 22 yards, but you actually encountered him with a couple of our crew members, Ryan and G-Man, earlier than that. Tell me about that.
When we were shooting the footage for the Rich Explains Cricket package, we were shooting a local game which was happening here as part of the NTCA, the North Texas Cricket Association. At that game, in order during his training period to stay in shape, Unmukt Chand was actually participating in that game. So that's actually really interesting to see such world star players playing with people that we have available here locally.
And that says a lot about the amateur talent around here. If somebody like Chand wants to play with these guys, they must be pretty good. That's special.
Certainly. And we hope to be covering all of those players and everything happening with the NTCA in upcoming episodes here on American Cricket TV.
When we come back, have you ever thought about trying your hand at cricket?
If you've ever been interested in it, we've got a place for you.
Stay right there. Short break. If you want to improve your cricket game, maybe you have a child you'd like to introduce to the sport, check out 22 Yards.
Right off of 121, one of the biggest facilities available in the North Texas area.
That's 22 Yards, your ticket to cricket. Last episode, we took you to a place in the Colony, which is north of Dallas, for a watch party, the India-South Africa game.
Certainly. And this week, we're going to go back to that exact same location, Six's Social Cricket, where anybody can try to take their swing at cricket, fans and newbies alike.
Yeah, Mike Listingy, the general manager of Six's Cricket in the Grandscape.
There we go.
Hey, yeah, that was a 6.
It is a restaurant, bar, social entertainment venue. We have indoor batting cages that are cricket and a full restaurant, a full bar. So Americans are uncomfortable with sports like cricket because they don't understand it. So they're hesitant to try it. Once they get in and figure it out, it's not as hard as they think it's going to be, and it's a lot more fun and a lot more competitive than they think it's going to be. 90% of the time when there's a couple playing, the female will win. And that always is a benefit to us because she wants to come back and beat the guy again. I think because the guys are trying to hit it like a baseball and trying to be the macho home run hitter, and the females are just up there hitting the ball. And the goal in cricket, like any other sport, is to score as many runs as possible. So the females are hitting the ball, hitting the targets, getting the runs. The guys are trying to hit sixes, and most of the time they don't. You know, we're the first one in the United States. The 12 locations that we have in the UK are wildly successful. We've opened a year ago. We've had close to 1,000 requests for franchises. We can only get to them so quickly, but we do have one that's going to open in Trinidad. Corporations come in and buy us out and do team building. We have events from watch parties for cricket matches, and then date night or bachelor parties, and kids' birthday parties. We have a lot of those on the weekends.
Yeah, I'm a big cricket fan. I'm proud that my daughter's taking an interest in the game. So she's having her 15th birthday soon, and she wants to have a birthday party, introduce her non-Indian American friends to the game of cricket.
So I've been watching it with my family since I was really young, and I'm enjoying watching the World Cup right now. There's like all the standard birthday parties, go to bowling place or go to Topgolf. I wanted to do something like that, but like bring my own twist to it, so I thought this would be a really cool place that no one's really experienced yet. Just introduce, see if they like it.
Six's Social Cricket is a fun place. It's like Topgolf, you know, if you want to try out golf and never tried it, but instead for cricket. We had a lot of fun out there.
Absolutely. And honestly, the energy in the room is always the thing that kind of draws me there. if you remember seeing all the footage from the India versus South Africa game, the energy in the room was at an all-time high. Everyone was deeply involved with the game, and it's like being at those, like, you know, final season for any other sport at like Buffalo Wild Wings or any other sports bar. It's just infectious. That kind of energy is what we all look for.
When we come back, we're going to hear from you, the viewer. It's a segment we've grown to really like.
We'll be right back.
Excellent catch. Oh, that's gone wrong. Has he knocked him over? Oh, goodness. Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the show. This is a segment that we've grown to love where we get to hear from you, the viewers. And speaking of viewers, we have grown to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the support. That's a huge milestone for this show.
It is a nice milestone, especially for a channel that's been on a relatively short amount of time. But we're getting tens of thousands of views on our videos, but just a tiny fraction of those people have subscribed. So again, this is a blatant self-promotion thing. We really need you to subscribe, share, and like. Have your family members subscribe. It helps us grow this station, get more content out to you. And so let's go ahead and start with some of those. These are comments that we get on our pages.
So this comes from _Starfiend. Hope you can also cover some non-US matches occasionally so that your US watchers get to experience some truly brilliant cricket. We need more cricket in the world. What major teams do you have in the US? And they go on to list some amazing teams in the UK League. Well,
I think the major teams we have are clearly the MLC, but there are good minor league programs going on. The whole system is beginning to build, and we do want to cover that from the grassroots level up.
Absolutely.
Here's a comment from Nisha Thomas. More USA cricket content, please. We do have a new, at least part-time member of our team named Mahika, who actually played on the USA Cricket women's team. She's now retired from that. She's going into some other stuff with sports psychology and that sort of thing. I think she's going to make a great commentator, by the way, but we do intend to cover USA Cricket, absolutely. As things develop, we will cover them.
I really like this comment. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The same thing applies with your process, with what you're doing here, and it's great that you fellas recognize it. I hope you people carry on giving us good content to watch and wish you well.
Thank you very much. Here's one from Corrupt Russian. Okay. Do you think we'll see cricket becoming as popular as baseball in the USA? Frankly, no, but I think there's a better analogy, and I think the analogy is soccer. 20 or 30 years ago, soccer was not, it was very much a blip on the radar here, and now it's quite big. People like me who grew up loving baseball, didn't know much about soccer. I watch soccer all the time, and I hope it doesn't take 20 or 30 years, but I think there is a model where cricket becomes what soccer is now, and I hope it doesn't take 20 years.
Right. And honestly, I think it's about volume of content. And, you know, we can only be so many places all at once. However, the fans are always everywhere where cricket is. So please send us in your videos at contact@americricket.tv. We'd love to get, more than just comments, we'd love to get videos of you guys participating in it.
Absolutely. Send them in. One last one we're going to talk from Shab Gupta.
Shab Gupta 571, certainly. What will you guys cover after the World Cup and MLC?
That is a very good question, and we've got a lot of stuff lined up already, including a couple of major cricket legends, international cricket legends that have agreed to be part of this show. And we're keeping the names under our hat for a little bit, but these are big names that you are going to want to see. They're going to talk about cricket internationally and cricket in the Americas. And there's also all these other leagues that we are wanting to cover from the grassroots up. There's a lot to cover in cricket in America, and it's growing, and we want to grow with that sport.
Certainly. And the best way to grow with it is to interact with it. So for all of you subscribers, might be getting this notification, but for those of you who aren't subscribed, if you click over to the community tab, we're running a poll on every single match in the MLC. We'd really love to see your fan support for your favorite team. Go out and vote.
Subscribe, share, and like, and we'll see you back here next episode.
See you guys.